Hi gang, it's Jerry here from our task again with the thought of the day for Thursday, October 25th. Here it is, P7B, that's the thought of the day. It's all over the newspapers. Population of 7 billion. That's what we've got in the next week or maybe the next few weeks, but we're almost there, the experts say. 7 billion. Now, last time we talked about the Occupy movement and their goals, and we talked about our task and its goals, and how all these interconnected issues of climate and energy and population and poverty, how they're all linked together, and that's what our goals relate to. Now, population links to all of them. It's both in terms of numbers of people and in terms of the lifestyles that we choose to lead. Just think, for example, about the number of households. Every household has got a house or an apartment or someplace to live. There's a car, there's a refrigerator, there's a television, there's a computer, there's all this stuff. So the more households, the more people, the more households, the more households, the more impact that our stuff has on the environment, just to produce it, and also the waste that it ends up being before it's over. And then there's the living standard. How much stuff per household? How much travel are you going to do? Travel takes a huge amount of energy and produces a lot of waste and has a huge impact on the environment. So those are the things that are related. Now, there comes the question, what can you do? For everybody, I think a key thing that you can do is to talk with your religious leaders. There's still a lot of religions that are pro-natalist, encouraging as many children to be born as possible. Talk to your religious leaders and try to get them to change their mind. And if you're like me, if that doesn't work, find a new religion. That's not where you want to be. Okay, another thing, everybody can support through their contact with their political leaders, they can support policies that really help on this. And the policies, the two key ones, are education and providing contraceptives to people who don't have them. Education, particularly for girls, is vital in changing the demographic behavior of countries. And if people don't have the money to get contraceptives, we should give them to them. If we've provided contraceptives to everybody that wants them but doesn't have them, it'd cost us about the same amount of money that Americans spend on the Halloween holiday every year, about $6.7 billion. That's not a staggering amount of money on a global scale. And to meet the education needs, provide elementary and secondary education for everybody, for all children, that would take about maybe $70 billion. It's more, but it's still well within what we can manage. And educating girls makes a huge difference in what happens in their decisions about fertility. Okay, that's two for everybody. Now one for young people. You're not like me. I've made my fertility decisions. We had 3 children. And, what you can do is decide and think carefully about how many children you want. And, for a stable population, here is the goal. 2's enough. 2.0 children. If everybody just had enough children to replace themselves, the population would be stable. So there's something there. Now, one more thing for everybody to encourage that is a different, a changed measure of progress. Currently, we still count the number of people as progress, and we count gross national product as product or progress. We have to change. We need a new indicator of progress because you can destroy the planet just by increasing gross national product. So the thing that I like best is an indicator called the ecological footprint. And you can go online and see about it. Go to www.footprintnetwork.org, and you can calculate there your ecological footprint. You can see what contribution you make to the global footprint. Currently, well, the footprint basically is a measure of how much of the Earth would be needed if we did everything that we're doing now, but did it sustainably. And the reality is that it would take 1.5 Earths for us to do what we're doing now on a sustainable basis. And we only got one. And so that's a serious problem. And if we all 7 billion of us, tried to live the way the wealthiest do, it would take 6 Earths to try to live sustainably that way. Now, that's not going to work for the younger generation. So you especially need to encourage everybody to be thinking about a different measure of progress for countries. Now, what does our task want? Basically we want every child to be wanted, and we want every child to be cared for well, and we want to live in such a way that we conserve resources so that the child's grandchildren will have the resources necessary to live well on the planet. So that's the thought for the day. This is Jerry. Well, one more thought, and that is that if you're interested in these things, you have to come to our website. That is ourtask.org, and look at the opportunities to get involved, see our videos, look at the Youth Earth Plan. Those are all things you can do. But now, this is Jerry signing off, and I'll see you next time. Bye.